Hello again. I have been making some stuff. I've been messing around with canvases and these printed canvases, and I've had these paper collections. I couldn't tell you how long that I've been wanting to make something with them. So I have 3 different collections, and it kind of started with this, which I had made the covers with canvas, printed canvas corp. And then I used raw canvas for the spine. And then I had a vintage like blue jean skirt. So I made these little flowers. And then some of the canvas, I made these little flowers and put little gems in some of them. And then this, it is a snap. So that's the closure. See, there's nothing in it yet. I haven't decided what I want to do with it. So, and I just, strung a chain through there. And I just think it's super adorable. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So, but this is where it started, which I want to finish it. I just don't know what to do. So then, it's Valentine's, or close to Valentine's Day. So I had some collections that are Valentine related. And this one here, it is Webster's Pages. I think the collection is called In Love. So I used some ribbons and stuff and some pretty flowers, and so this is what we're going to make. All of the insides are the same except for the paper collection. So it's not my idea. I didn't come up with this. It's the Hidden Hinge binding. Laura Dennison came up with that, and it's so awesome for stuff like this. It gives you room, space, to add stuff and pictures. And so, there's photo mats and places for journaling, and, the collection is all cohesive. And then there's a pocket right there. And then there's a pull-out mat, photo mat that's blank. Well, so there's, the end pocket there, and then you flip it over and it does the same thing. It's got the pocket. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's got the pocket. You flip it back. And it's got the pocket. And the pull out. They all have the pull outs. And in the paper collection, it's all cohesive, so it's really pretty together. Again, it's Webster's Pages In Love collection. So these are going to be for sale on my Etsy shop, Genevieve Designs at Etsy.com. When you buy this on Etsy, you'll get these journaling cards that are part of the collection. They just got little different designs on them. And they're different sizes, and some of them say stuff and like love, and they're double-sided. So I think you get 2 of each one, and they're 2 different sizes. So you get these. Whoever purchases this from my Etsy shop. Well, I'll put that back together in a minute. The strip of jewels, and then 2 fabric tickets that'll come along with this. And also, one of these Uniball Signo white pens, pigment ink pens. And the reason for that is I left these parts open because, or blank. I left this part blank so that you can write, with the white pen, all your little notes from whatever the picture's about. That's what you get when you buy this from my shop. Buy this book, The You and Me Together by Webster's Pages. This book, this is not a Valentine's one. This is The Secret Garden by Graphic 45. I bought this a long time ago too, and I thought this would be the perfect way to use it. So this is just a burlap sheet and then some canvas on the spine. And this is a die cut with a little key that says Secret. And this is seam binding. And what I did with this cover is I used texture paste and just kind of scraped it on there, and used texture paste on the die cut as well. So I just thought it made it look like, iron gate or whatever. So this one, let's see, you open it up, it's the same, it has the flap, but this one has a card, a journaling card, and then a double-sided flip tag that's in the pockets. and they coordinate with the papers perfectly. And it also has the insert, and it's blank, so you can do whatever you want with it. And the pages open up, so each one has the tag, double-sided tag, and the journaling card. And this is, you know, this is definitely a garden theme, so it's beautiful paper. So this one's finished. I just finished this yesterday. This will also be available in my Etsy shop. And then this one is the one we are going to finish today. This one is using Bo Bunny's Love Letters collection. And it's got the pinks and the reds and the teals and the blacks, and it's just really, really pretty. And I've had this for a while. I think this is, oh, this is like from 2012. But I thought this would work great because of this damask pattern. And the colors are just really cool. And right now these colors are really, really hot. And bows are really, really hot. And I found this bow, it was part of a bracelet. And the bracelet looked like this. And it's, you know, it's okay, I guess. But what's cool is the bow, it's dimensional, obviously it's metal, and the bow unscrews off. So I did that, and this is what I ended up with, 2 pieces. So, and I didn't like how bright it was, so I took some gesso and just painted over the whole thing, inside and out, to get that look. And so before I did my lining of this, I poked 2 holes in the cover and put this down, and then put the screws in from behind so that it's really nice and secure on there. So that was pretty cool. I like being able to reuse things that I find. And then this is the Canvas Corp canvas. I don't have a package, but this is a damask pattern, and it's just on canvas, and this is like raw canvas that I put on the spine. And this is some old red, kind of like leathery, fake leather ribbon, and this is some jute twine. I just wanted to give the, I don't know, give it a little extra something something. So obviously this isn't finished. I'm going to finish it today, but it's the same thing. This one, when you open it up, the pocket has a cute little like letter types deal where you open it up and has like a cute little stamp that matches the back side of the paper. So that's cute. I like using my leftover paper for stuff. So this is the same thing. It has the insert, you know, the flap. This is what it looks like before we put any of the photo mats on there. So with this one, you get all kinds of stuff. You get some layered chipboard stickers that are part of the collection. There we go. And you get some dimensional stickers that are part of the collection. And then you get some jewels that are part of the collection. Love letters, jewels. These are really pretty. I didn't use any on the cover. I'm gonna leave the cover just like this so that whoever buys this can do whatever they want with it. And then, of course, it comes with a sticker sheet, a 12 by 12 sticker sheet, but I had to cut it down because I can't ship a 12 by 12 sheet with my book here. So it has all kinds of little sayings and little stickers, and, you know, you float my boat, you and me, special delivery, I'm yours. Really cute. So you can use this all through. Oh, I love every inch of you. And you get those. And then there was some 12 by 12 cut apart sheets. These are double-sided, so I just cut them apart, and you can use them anywhere you want throughout the book. You know, they say things, I adore you, truly, madly, deeply in love with you, that kind of stuff. And they're different sizes, and like I said, they're all double-sided, so you can just use those as journaling cards or inserts or photo mats or whatever you want. And then there was another one. This one, well, is, I didn't cut them completely apart. They need to be cut probably a little bit more, but they're just like little flags and tags and banners and just a bunch of little stuff that you can add interest to your scrapbook. Okay, let's start with the covers. You have to start with a medium chip weight. You have to start with medium weight chipboard. And I've lost some footage somewhere, so I will show you what I did basically. So it starts off with a 12 by 12. So I cut it down at 8 1/4. Cut this piece off at 8 1/4. So then I trimmed this to 5 7/8. Cut a piece off, and then 5 7/8, which left this little piece here. I don't know where the footage went to. I guess my camera decided not to record that. Okay, now we're going to cut the spine, which is that piece you trimmed off, and we're going to cut it at, let me see here, something's on my board. We're going to cut it at 8 1/4 first. I'm just going to line it up here. And it doesn't have to be perfect because the canvas goes over the sides, hangs over the sides a bit. So cut it to 8 1/4 tall, and now I'm going to cut it to 1 3/4 inches wide. So I'm just going to line it up, 1 3/4 inches. Okay, so there's our spine, and then our front and back covers. So it's going to be like that. So this is going to be covered in a piece of just like raw canvas, like that. And then these two pieces are going to be attached to this. So like I said, it's going to hang over a bit. So I want to make sure that I give myself enough space for that. So what we're going to do is we are going to glue this puppy down. I'm using Fabric Tack by Beacon. I like to use this glue on everything. It doesn't work for everything, but since this is a canvas, I would like to use, you know, it just holds it, bonds it better. So you want to use a lot of glue. Lots and lots and lots. And this kind of ends up hurting my wrist because I think I'm getting carpal tunnel, but you have to squeeze pretty good. It's pretty thick glue. Oops. Okay, I want to make sure my damask is going the way I want it to. I don't guess it really has it up or down. So then I'm going to take it and I'm going to line it up. I just want it to overhang just a little bit on the bottom and try to line it up with that edge over there. And maybe, you know, maybe about 1 2 3/8 of an inch. And just kind of smush it down. I like to use one of these little brayer things to give it even pressure. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Okay, same thing. You want to give yourself about 3/8 an inch from the bottom and press it down. Now you can use, to trim this off, you can use scissors, but I'm going to use my knife and a ruler. I'm going to try to guess about I don't think that was 3/8. I think that might have just been 1/4. Yeah, it's pretty much just 1/4. So I'm gonna add an extra 1/4 inch from the cover, and then I'm just gonna cut this up. Again, it does not have to be perfect because it's gonna be distressed on the edges. So let's, you have that left over. Keep that for something. And then I'm going to separate the two. There's only 1/4 inch, so I'm going to try to make it fair here and do 1/8 inch on each side. Okay. Now we have our front cover and our back cover. Like so. Okay, then let's cover the spine now. I guess I can move this. Yes, I do. Alright, let's cover the spine now. This is just a piece of raw, what's it called? Canvas. I have another piece. Oh, here it is. This is for the lining. So it's just a great big roll, and it's real soft, and it's not been bleached. It's not been treated with gesso or anything. So we're going to do the same thing with the spine. We're just going to it looks like I got a straight edge over here, and I want about, I don't want that much, maybe about 1 inch overlap, overhang on each side. Same thing with the brayer. So, how big did I buy? 1 inch and 1/4. So we'll do 1 inch and 1/4 off this end over here, using my knife, my craft knife, and my ruler. Or you can just use scissors. Does not matter. Alright, then I'm going to take and leave just 1/4 inch on the top and 1/4 inch on the bottom. That's a little too hard. Okay, so then you end up with this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my front and back cover to it. So this is the front cover, because this is the side of the overhang, so it's going to go on this side. And then this is the back cover, it's going to go over here. Make sure they're... And the way I'm going to attach them is I'm going to run some glue along the edge, and I'm not going to run it as thick as that because I'm going to fray it out a little bit. So fabric tack again, and then you just take it and you line it up. You want to leave maybe like 1/8 inch gap so that it can fold nicely. But you want to line the top and the bottom up with the spine. And then do the same for this side. Perfect. So now we got the spine on there. And if you wanted to, before we put the lining on, if you wanted to add anything to the cover like this that has that you need more security on it before we put the lining on, you want to put that on now. That's when I did that bow. Alright, so my next piece is just another piece of raw canvas that I cut it kind of roughly to size. I don't guess it really has a front and a back. So I'm going to cover this whole thing with more glue. Well, shoot, my camera just turned off again. So, I think I left off where I was putting glue on the back side of this, of the covers. So then I took a sheet of, the canvas, and I laid it over top of it and smoothed it down. Made sure that everything is good and down. Then I just trimmed off the extra with my scissors. Took that away. So now we got the covers. And then the next step I do is I take glue and I get between the two layers here, and I just kind of run it in between like this. Oops, I keep missing. And all I'm really doing is just sealing this up right here. You don't have to do this part, but you'll see why I do it in just a minute. Alrighty, so I got glue all the way around all the edges. It's just to help seal that up, to protect the chipboard, I guess, from under there. And then I take my distress tool, my Prima distress tool. It's got all kinds of different distressing tools on it, but I'm going to use this little blade right here. So I'm going to use this little blade right there, and I'm going to take it and we'll start where. And all I'm doing is just scraping along the top. And you see how it kind of messes up the edges, makes it frayed and cool looking. So you just go around and just beat it up, just beat them edges up. Some of it gets a little carried away. Clip that off. Alright, and then go back and make sure that you didn't expose the chipboard too much. And so now we have covers that are frayed. Give it a little haircut. And also, like on this one, I stuck underneath some ribbon and wrapped some jute twine around. I'm not going to add the ribbon right now to this one, but you do need to fray the edges of this, and it's just the same. You just want to pull until you get the frayed look. And pull as much as you want. And do the same thing to the back side. Just fray it up a little bit. Or I guess you could take your tool. No, it doesn't work as good doing it that way. You just want to pull on it. With your fingers. Okay. So now would be the time if you wanted to add some ribbon, some pretty decorative elements to it, if you wanted to stick it on the outside or stick it underneath like that, or whatever. You can add different ones. This was from the other collection, but pretty. So now's the time to do that.